What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Here on M Cubed, of course, I'm Schmook. It's been a while. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yeah, I mean, so it's been a while since we've had comic adaptations weekly. I just feel like there hasn't been a ton to discuss. So I decided, one, I've been pretty damn busy. So just to get that out of the way. Summer it gets that way for me every year, every damn year. But it's okay. Um, but I was able to get a good Furiosa video out to you not too long ago, and all the boys are doing the Acolyte. I I don't think I'm going to be a part of that. I was going to, but when they did the first one, I had a bad stomach bug, and then I watched episode 3 of the Acolyte, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's just not my cup of tea. The Acolyte was just. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Maybe I will. Maybe it gets good, and I'll want to. Maybe I'll hop in eventually onto one of those things. But until I see something that I'm like, oh, this is Star Wars. I mean, the performances are fine. I know this isn't an Acolyte stream, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. What's up, Carrie? It's good to have you here. Yeah, I just don't see myself wanting to talk about it because it's just probably just gonna be all negative stuff. But I will say, like the actor who's playing Jedi Master Soul. But besides that, I'm not too into the characters that much. And I mean, it looks cool. It's good to be back in that prequel-ish era. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe the Skeleton Crew can get me back on that Star Wars hype, but who knows? But we're here to talk about The Boys, a show that I'm actually happy to talk about. So The Boys. So it's been a little bit since we got a season because we had strikes go on and blah blah blah. So it's been like two years since we've seen The Boys. I think. I don't remember what year season 3 came in, but I know when season 3 was coming out, I was like, holy shit, this show is excellent. And so watching. Oh, you haven't seen The Boys yet, huh, Carrie? Well, come on, watch it before you watch this. I don't want to say something that you don't want to hear, but I recommend. Overall. Anyway, I remember when I was watching the first episode of season 4 because I'm rewatching all of it with my girlfriend currently, and it's. What's up, David? Good to have you, bud. I know it's been a while. But anyway, I just remember starting that first episode because again, as I said, I'm rewatching it. We're on season 3 right now. We're right at the part where Soldier Boy is like going to be with the boys, so I'm amped. But I watched the first episode and I immediately was very I don't know. The story's all fine. I think the story's good. But I'm like, I feel like we might have like watched the absolute peak of The Boys. Even though season 4, like from what I've seen, season 3 or season 4, the first 3 episodes are all good. They're all good episodes. But I feel like I don't know, 3 just felt like a different animal. Like this is like, oh, this is one of the best shows on television. I'm watching this. I'm like, the story's fine. All the characters are giving their good performances. But I think it's missing a little something, and I don't really know what that is. But because I just feel like the production value in general was just so much better in 3. I'm watching season 4. I'm like, man, like there's something about it. It just doesn't look as good. There hasn't been anything too crazy happen yet, and like there's not much action. There's some. There's not a lot. I'm loving what we're seeing with the Butcher and Huey. So far, they're the all-stars of the season. I know Homelander's about to probably have like an insane arc, which I'm excited for because by the end of episode 3, it's like he's kind of losing his mind a little bit. So that's gonna be really cool. He's just desperate for the approval of everyone, and but he's also just a maniac at the same time. And he mainly wants the approval of his son. And I think that's a really cool part that they're doing with this season is like they're trying to get Ryan to to be a part of the Seven. That's what Homelander's really pushing for, because obviously Starlight's out. But they want Ryan, or at least he does, and they do this whole staged like performance thing to have Ryan's coming out as a superhero type of situation. And when because they've rehearsed it so many times, like, you can throw me a little harder, but then like Homelander he shows up when he shouldn't have, and then Ryan gets a little nervous and he just throws this dude and like kills him. Yeah, it's crazy. So all that stuff's really cool. Again, I like seeing JDM, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's one of my favorite actors working right now. He's not in a ton of stuff. I mean, of course, I love him as Negan, and I loved him in Supernatural, and he's just one of my guys, you know. And it's awesome that they keep adding to this Supernatural cast. They even added Chuck, who's AKA God from Supernatural, which is crazy. He's like this dude who's like in love with Firecracker, and he can duplicate and whatnot. So if you didn't recognize that, that's Chuck from Supernatural. So yeah, now you have Dean, you have I don't know why I can't. Literally has the same name in the in Supernatural. Oh, Bobby. You have Robert Singer, which is funny. Carrie. The Boys is on Amazon Prime. It's a Prime original series. It's good. Have you never seen The Boys? If you haven't, that's a show I will always recommend. There's no doubt in my mind. Again, like, to me, it's just like I'm feeling like they don't have as much juice. I think that's the term I want to use. I don't think they have as much juice this season so far. I mean, again, there's still 5 more episodes that need to come out, and I will say, for the most part, most of the seasons, I'd say besides the first season, had a little bit of a slower build. The first season the first season I love because it immediately gets you, in my opinion. Like, the first season I think is one of the best first seasons in anything. Awesome, yeah, definitely watch it, Carrie. Yeah, if you have Prime, hell yeah. Prime has some good shit as of late. I mean, The Boys is excellent. Invincible's good. Fallout's really good. And then if you like Lord of the Rings, I haven't seen Rings of Power. I hear a lot of mixed things on it. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite things, and based on the stuff people talk about, it makes me not really want to watch it. But maybe I'll give it a watch one of these days. Yeah, okay, David. I really like this comment. I agree. One, I feel like they're going a little bit too above and beyond with the whole... they're going above and beyond with the meta of The Boys. Like, The Boys has always been a little bit of a meta satire type of show, right? About our politics and our society as a whole. And it's very ridiculous. It's to make a point, you know. It's just be like, you guys sound ridiculous, you know. And this season they're going like fully like, go full into the conspiracy theories, like, if you're a Starlighter or whatever, you're a pedophile. Where's the child porn? Where's the pizza den? You know, all that stuff. And I'm just like, and then they go to this conspiracy expo, and it's like, man, this is kind of ridiculous. What does meta mean? It's just like, I'd say it's very in your nose, but it's like making fun of it, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain meta, I guess. It's just with The Boys, it's just hyper inflating like certain political issues, and it's like to be like, like, this is how ridiculous these issues are, you know? And it's just like, that's not the whole point of The Boys. Like, it's a good layer to The Boys, you know? It's fun to have these fun political nuances, and again, it's all satire. Like, the show's about superheroes who, one, are part of a company that's like a pharmaceutical company, and how they're all just puppets and whatnot, all being controlled by men, even though they're super beings. But again, that has a lot to do with like our political system and how there's a lot of things we don't know that's going on behind the scenes. That's what this show really excels at. But they're going a little too into it this season, like, which I'm not loving. I'm not loving. It's like I like the more like spy espionage, super beings fighting each other, which we haven't even had much of that. That's why I love season 3, because there's so much of the like Huey and Butcher have superpowers that season. It's sick, and Soldier Boy's such a good character. And then Homelander is like going full like I'm done. I'm taking complete charge, and it's awesome. This season, I'm not really getting a whole lot of that. Just that vibe. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I think the sauce isn't there, and I'm really hoping that it comes around. Again, it's good. Like the boys does not miss, but so far this season is not what I expect when I think season 3 is one of the best single seasons out there of any TV show. You know. If you've seen season 3 of The Boys, I would hope you agree with me, because I think it's a lot of people's favorite. And I think it's the season that put The Boys like truly on the map, being like, oh, this is one of the best shows out there. And they still get pretty ridiculous with it, but like they do it to a point where it's like, oh, it's very impactful to the story, and it's not just being like, all right, let's throw all this conspiracy crap against the wall and see what sticks and see if people like that. And it's like, okay, whatever. This sounds amazing other than what you two boys are saying. I'm sure this part will end soon, TBH. What do you mean by that? I'm sure this part will end soon, TBH? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. So just like how they're going too into it, yeah, and it's like, it's fine. I mean, again, they just really overdo all these political agenda stuff within the show. Right, like it's to the extreme, and it's like how everything's corrupt and whatnot. David, I am with you 100%. When season 3 was coming out, I'm hooked. Every week, I'm like, okay, I need this episode to come out so I can see what happens next. And I'm like, they dropped 3 episodes, 3 for this season, and I am like, it's fine. And that's the thing. I had a busy weekend, but I wasn't like that like amped, because I watched like the first episode probably like the night it came out, I believe, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. It was cool to see JDM, but that's all I really got from the episode. And I think I liked episode 3 the most, because I watched that last night, so because I wanted to make sure I watched all of them before I talked about it clearly, but it's just, I don't know. I really wish I could explain it, because David, I feel like you're in the same boat. It's just like it's totally missing something. Again, all the characters are still great, and I'm loving the theories that people are having so far about like Butcher and Huey. Like they could, after taking the Temp V last season, they could be losing their minds a little bit. Like, are they actually talking to these individuals? The point, I'm starting to think it's mainly on the Butcher side, since like he has some bad, a huge mass or whatever inside of his brain. Huey probably not. So I do think Huey's mom is there in the hospital with his dad, because he was talking to like a lawyer or someone about it, and it's just like, you have to talk to your mom about these legal issues. So I don't know if I buy the Huey part, but I definitely buy the part that Butcher is talking to a ghost, more or less. Like JDM's character might just be a figment of Butcher's imagination, and I think it's very interesting. But the part that made me buy into the Huey part is that like he's like talking to himself. Butcher was never really doing that. So I don't know. Carrie says maybe they put out the 3 episodes to see if it's received well. Well, overall, I think it's being received well, but I know overall it's like they're some of the lowest rated episodes of the show. It's still positive. it's definitely still positive because I mean, again, people love the characters. The story's still good. But what I will say, to me, the most jarring thing about this season, there's two things. One, I just think the show looks worse. Like I feel like they didn't put as much money into it. They could be saving a whole bunch of their budget for like the last half of the season, because this is the penultimate season, so it's got to end in some crazy way. Like I have so much faith in this show that they will really start to grip us by next episode, because then you're in the final 4 episodes, and it's gonna be like holy shit. Especially if you have to wait week to week for these last 5 episodes, right? Because they drop 3 at once. We have over a third of the season just out, you know. Anyway, as I was saying, the most jarring thing to me, besides the production quality, I think it's definitely worse. Because what I'm watching again. I told you I'm rewatching season 3. And I'm like, this looks miles better than what I've been watching before. And I don't know. It's just such a weird gray tint. Like the last season, I thought was way more colorful. There's like nothing flashy. I mean, I will say the musical part in episode 3 I thought was really good. I thought that whole scene felt like the old boys to me. That's been my favorite part of these first 3 episodes. I guess I'm also just not loving Frenchie's new storyline. I'll say his new arc, because I'm just like, I don't understand this whole thing of like, oh, you have an old lover who family you got killed, and like, but yeah, you're still sleeping with this lover and you feel guilty about it, but yeah, you continue to do it, but you are completely guilty for the reason his family's dead, right? I don't love that, because I'm also like, what the hell is wrong with the whole Kimiko and him relationship? They have done it so well. You don't need to change that up. And then she at this expo is like drunk and being like, oh, I fucked a dude besides you, and she's just like, okay. Like, he doesn't care, but it's just like, I love their relationship. Like, I don't think you really need to touch that. Just keep doing what they've been doing. Like this awesome duo, you know? So that's one thing I haven't really been loving. And then, okay, there's nothing you can do about this. And so this was going to my main point about what's so jarring to me, is that you go from season 3 to this, right? And it's a bit of a jump because, again, it's been like at least 2 years since we've seen an episode, right? So here's the part that a lot of people are talking about, okay? One, Starlight at times is incredibly jarring to look at, because she got some sort of surgery on her face, and I'm just like, man, I mean, it is what it is. She feels fine with it. She's not loving the feedback, but to me, it's just like there's certain scenes where I'm like, okay, she looks great, and other times I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And one, I always thought she was a beautiful woman too. If she wanted to do it, she wanted to do it. I'm not gonna say she shouldn't have, but as a viewer, I think it's pretty jarring. Another thing is Mother's Milk's character. The actor decided to lose a lot of weight because he felt he wasn't healthy, and I am all for that. I'm all for that. Unbelievably, like if you feel like you are unhealthy, lose weight. And I'm saying it just looks jarring because it's been a while. It's like to go from what happens at the end of season 3 into this, where it's not much of a time jump. These characters look very different. I will say with Mother's Milk, I think if he just kept the beard, I don't think it would be a problem. But to me, it's just very jarring. He just looks completely different. At first, I'm like, did they recast Mother's Milk? No way, because he's one of my favorite characters. They didn't, and he's still great. I love the episode 3, where it's him and Huey like trying to get some dirt on Vicky and Homelander. I think it's all good stuff. It feels like the boys like doing their spy espionage shit. It's awesome. That's my 2 cents. What did you say here, David? I think the first three seasons. Okay, I think that's an excellent point, David. Yes, they always push boundaries. They go above and beyond. I just don't know what they're doing. That's so like, how are they growing this universe? This feels like a lot of it's more or less the same. They amped up a lot of this like meta conversation with our reality and our politics and how people on the internet treat each other and how people talk and what rabbit holes they go down and whatnot, right? Or how extremely right wing you can be, or how extremely left wing you can be, like snowflakes and all that stuff, right? Uh, Again, that's not pushing boundaries. Like you're making some fun stuff at times. Like I thought the musical number was funny. It's just like Happy Holidays, no, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Christmas is for everyone. I just think it's funny. I think it's a good. I thought that was a good use of what they've been doing in all the seasons, right? I just didn't love like the conspiracy expo. I didn't love some guy coming to the Starlighters headquarters and like pulling a gun out and like being like, "Where's the child porn?" It's like, cause again, this is all conspiracy theories and whatnot. And it's like it's just a big grasp of how a lot of people have been acting these past few years, specifically since COVID. As I get it, it's fun to talk about and it can make people think, but now it's like they're just completely shoving it down our throats. And I'm like, come on, like I think it's going to get real interesting with with the Butcher and Ryan stuff, because I really like that in episode 3. Episode 3 is by far my favorite episode from the season so far. But I love when they're just hanging out. They're just playing foosball together. There's the whole idea that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character wanted to drug Ryan so they could kidnap him and get him away from Homelander. Butcher seems to think he can do that all on his own. He can eventually reach Ryan, which he's definitely able to. He's more like a follower of the Ryan than Homelander in terms of how he treats him, But yeah, I don't really have too much more to say about The Boys season 4 other than I think it's good, but compared to what we're used to, especially with how great season 3 was, I'm a little let down. But we have 5 more episodes this season, so there's plenty of room to grow. I think it was just a good foundation to the season. We have somewhat of an idea of what's going on. We get some other storyline beats like Kimiko and this girl with a scar, and Frenchie's just becoming an addict again. But overall, it just doesn't have the sauce. It just does not have the sauce like it used to. So yeah, that's gonna do it for The Boys. I might do my own separate stream if I have time to talk about House of the Dragon, but I might just do that whenever it's all said and done. Maybe if I have some time tomorrow, I can do a quick one for House of the Dragon, the first episode. But big fan. Like, to me, I'm like, oh, Hot D is kicking ass compared to The Boys, and I'm like, overall, I like The Boys more than House of the Dragon, even though there's much more of a sample size from The Boys. We have 3 whole seasons, and with House of the Dragon, we have 11 episodes. Where with The Boys, we have like 27 episodes. So it's different. We have a lot more to take from The Boys, but House of the Dragon, this episode was awesome. I'll clearly dive deeper into it eventually. A lot of people will talk a lot of smack on the blood and cheese thing, but what I loved hearing is that George R.R. Martin says that Fire and Blood, which is the book that's all based on the Targaryen legacy and whatnot, right? It's an account from maesters and like account from like people. People have agendas, and if they're writing it, it's not George telling the story like a POV, like Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire. It is a recount history where and history is usually written by those who won. We will never know the full truth of everything, but House of the Dragon is where you're getting that full POV from these characters. So it's different. So that's why there's gonna be a lot of changes. Blood and Cheese definitely went a little differently, but apparently the idea is that the people who ride Fire and Blood are more Team Green, and try to back them up and their claim more. Okay, so that's the whole point there. So maybe Team Black isn't as bad as they are made out to be throughout the history of Westeros. But anyway, I think that is going to do it here, guys. Went a little bit on a House of the Dragon tangent, but I enjoyed it more than the boys so far, because I think there's a lot of room for the boys to grow. Because I mean, I just know what they're capable of, and yeah, no, I'm with you, David. You can't like cheese or blood, because that scene is terrible what they do to a little child. But anyway, when it comes to the boys, I have some faith that we will see Soldier Boy by the end of the season. Zali died, and I think that's all they have to do to be like, okay, let's go. Let's fucking go. No, hey, Carrie, it's okay. I've been sick too. I went to urgent care as well last week, so I wasn't able to do anything last week or much the week before, because I had a very bad stomach bug. I was starting to feel better, and I was starting to be fine, and then I got it again. So I was like, oh shit, I should go to the hospital. There might be something seriously wrong. There's nothing seriously wrong. It's just I regained it, and it's because I work at a child care center, a preschool, and it's, there's so much disease, and this stuff continues to come around, and it's like it goes through all the kids, and like if one kid has it at the beginning, one will still have it by the time you're feeling better, and maybe you could get it again. And I'm good, Carrie. Thanks for asking. I'm all good. Okay, so before I leave y'all, I just want to say, if I have time, I will try to do this next week. I just don't know if I'll have time to watch The Boys episode 4, because I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Panama City Beach for my buddy's bachelor party trip. Okay, so I'm going to be gone. I'm going to leave tomorrow night, and I'm going to be gone till Tuesday. So if I'm able to watch, maybe next Wednesday I'll do something for y'all. Okay. Maybe I can do a quick short or something. And then I'm going to see Inside Out 2 tonight. So maybe you guys will get a quick out of theater reaction if I'm feeling up to it. Okay. So that's my update. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and I will talk to you very soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Tell your friends, because I love talking to you guys about this stuff. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge on this stuff, and I eat it up. So you're going to be one of the boys? Oh, of course. I'm going to be with my boys, like my team of the boys. I'm basically the butcher of my group. Okay, I'm the one who gets it done. That's me with my inflated ego. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, guys. I'm so excited. Next time you see me, I'm probably gonna look. I think I'm gonna look pretty tan. I'm gonna be honest. But all right, guys, enough of that. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you know when we're going live, or whatever. If you can see our community post as well, just so you can get updated on what we're doing and when we're doing it. Okay. Tell your friends, and I will catch y'all very soon. Bye bye.